Hey warrior, pause for a moment and really look at the world around you. Respect doesn't go to the friendliest people. The ones who command the room aren't shouting the loudest. And the people who always seem to win. It's not because they're the smartest in the room. They've unlocked something you haven't, an ancient principle that's been used for centuries. A secret passed down from a man whose very name became a symbol of power and influence, Niccolo Machiavelli. Most people hear the word influence and instantly think it's evil. They couldn't be more wrong. Influence is simply a tool. A sharp blade. How it's used depends on the person holding it. Today, you're going to learn 9 psychological weapons that make a person untouchable. These aren't positivity hacks or motivational fluff. These are the uncomfortable truths that divide the manipulators from the manipulated. By the time we're done, you'll understand why some individuals effortlessly dominate in any environment, while others fade into the background unnoticed. You'll see why certain people never get fooled, never get played, and always get what they want. Before we dive in, comment this affirmation. I choose power over being liked. But here's the reality, most viewers won't apply a single thing from this video. They'll watch, agree, nod, and then return to being pawns in someone else's game. Don't be one of them. Let's begin. Number 1. The mirror trap. Get ready, because this one flips everything you've been taught. People don't fall for what's different from them. They fall for what feels familiar. Most people try to impress others by highlighting how unique or special they are. That's the wrong approach. Real influence comes from becoming a reflection of the person you're dealing with. Think about it. Who do you naturally trust? Who do you feel comfortable around? People who seem like you. Machiavelli said, men judge by what they see, because everyone can look, but only a few can understand. The mirror trap works because humans are obsessed with themselves. When you subtly echo their energy, their tone, their values, they feel seen. They feel understood. And that makes you magnetic. How to become a human chameleon. If they lean forward, wait 3 seconds and lean forward too. If they fold their arms, you follow. If they talk slowly, you lower your pace. This builds unconscious connection. Use their favorite words. If they love saying, awesome, use it too. If they're formal, match that. If they're laid back, shift your tone. If they light up about something, match their excitement. If they're worried, reflect that concern. People don't want to feel challenged, they want to feel understood. Discover what they care about and show real curiosity. Don't pretend. Find genuine overlap. Once that mirror bond is built, you can subtly guide them in new directions. They'll follow, because in their mind, you're one of them. Watch powerful figures closely, they do this effortlessly. They make every person feel like a close friend. That's not a coincidence. That's deliberate strategy. Number 2. The scarcity illusion. This is where almost everyone gets it wrong. They think being constantly available makes them more likable, more valuable, more respected. It doesn't. It does the exact opposite. Anything that's always within reach loses its shine. Think about the things you desire most. Are they the items you can grab anytime, or the ones that are rare, exclusive, and hard to access? That same psychology applies to you. The more accessible you are, the more people take you for granted. The less accessible you become, the more they crave your presence. Machiavelli said, "If you must choose, it is safer to be feared than loved." This isn't about being cold, rude, or arrogant. It's about creating strategic scarcity, the kind that naturally raises your value. Here's how you do it. How to create the scarcity effect. Delay availability intentionally. Even when you're free, say, "Thursday works for me." Waiting creates value. Don't distribute your full attention to everyone. Save your deep, focused energy for the few who truly matter. When you give someone your undivided attention, it feels rare, and therefore powerful. Set boundaries around your social energy. Not everyone deserves access to the most energized version of you. Reveal yourself slowly. Don't unload your entire story at once. Let people discover you piece by piece. Mystery is a magnet. Vary how quickly you respond. Sometimes reply fast, sometimes wait. This unpredictability creates curiosity, and curiosity creates desire. The key is not to disappear, but to be inconsistently available, not consistently unreachable. You want people to feel grateful when they get your time, not ignored when they don't. Humans always chase what they can't fully possess. Become someone they can't access on demand, and you instantly become more valuable. Number 3. The emotional puppet master. Most people try to influence others using logic, arguments, or pressure. That's the beginner level. Real power doesn't come from forcing decisions. It comes from guiding emotions. Because every choice people make starts with a feeling first, and gets justified with reasoning later. That's why those who control emotions quietly control outcomes. Machiavelli said, "The lion can't escape every trap, and the fox can't scare off every wolf." A leader must be both. In other words, strength isn't enough. You need psychological finesse. Here's the real secret. You don't convince people by pushing them toward what you want. You make them want it on their own. The emotional triggers that shape decisions. Loss avoidance. People fear losing more than they desire winning. Frame your ideas around what they might miss if they don't act. Ego elevation. Everyone wants to feel important. Make someone feel like a hero for choosing your direction. Curiosity gaps. Give partial information, let them connect the dots. Humans can't stand unfinished stories. Social proof. People follow what they believe others are already doing. Everyone else is moving this way, is more persuasive than any argument. Time pressure. Deadlines, even subtle ones, push people into action. How to use this ethically but powerfully. Instead of saying, "Do this," switch to, "I'm curious how you feel about this approach." They feel included, not commanded. Replace instructions with guiding questions. What do you think would happen if we tried this instead? They arrive at your conclusion themselves. When someone disagrees, don't argue. Validate, then redirect. That's a fair point. Maybe there's a way to combine both ideas. You're not dragging them. You're letting them walk into the decision believing it was theirs all along. The one who influences emotions, influences everything. And the best part? People enjoy being guided when they don't realize they're being guided. Number 4. The information asymmetry game. Information is power. Yet most people hand that power away like it's nothing. They overshare their plans, explain their weaknesses, reveal everything they know. And then wonder why others always seem one step ahead. Smart players do the opposite. They collect information, protect it, and release it only when it strengthens their position. Machiavelli said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few know who you truly are." That's the backbone of this law. Your knowledge is a currency. And you should spend it with intention. How to become a master collector of information. Listen more than you talk. Most people are so desperate to be understood that they'll reveal everything if you simply let them speak. Ask questions that open people up. Their goals, fears, frustrations, note them mentally or literally. These details become leverage later. Compare stories from multiple sources. When different people talk about the same situation, you start to see the truth behind the curtain. Observe behavior, not just words. How someone acts when stressed, excited, or irritated tells you who they'll be when things get real. Your information sharing strategy. Don't shut down and become a wall. That just creates suspicion. Instead, share something small to invite sharing back, but give less than you receive. Time your information. Facts are useless at the wrong moment and priceless at the right one. Provide value without exposing your vulnerabilities. Help people, but never hand over insights that compromise your position. Research people before big conversations. Knowing their challenges, history, and motivations gives you a massive advantage. The person who sees the full board wins the game. The person who knows only their own side gets blindsided. Information is the quiet power that decides outcomes long before anyone realizes a game even started. Number 5. The status elevator. Most people try to look powerful by putting others down. That's short-sighted and weak. True influence comes from making others look good. Because when you lift people up, they become invested in your success. When you push them down, they become invested in your failure. Machiavelli said, "The first way to judge a ruler's intelligence is by the people he surrounds himself with." Strong leaders surround themselves with strength. Weak leaders surround themselves with weakness and wonder why nothing significant happens. How to elevate others strategically. Give credit publicly. Praise good ideas in front of others, loyalty follows. Address mistakes privately. Humiliation creates enemies, discreet coaching creates allies. Recognize their unique skills. Everyone has something they take pride in, find it and compliment it genuinely. Help them achieve goals. Connect people with opportunities they value. Become the bridge others rely on. Be a connector. Introduce people when it benefits them. Those you elevate will naturally share valuable information with you in return. When you make someone feel successful, they associate that positivity with you. They want to see you win because it feels like their win too. Choose your allies wisely. Elevate those who can become powerful allies, not those who can't or won't reciprocate. The most influential people in history are surrounded by armies of supporters who want them to succeed. That's the ultimate leverage. When others' victories are tied to yours, your power multiplies. Number 6. The inevitable force. Momentum is everything. People instinctively want to align with winners and avoid losers. Once others believe your success is unavoidable, they start helping you, not because you asked, but because they want to be on the winning side. Most focus on problems and limitations. Winners focus on creating the perception of inevitability. How to build the illusion of inevitable success. Start with wins you can guarantee. Each small victory builds credibility for bigger ambitions. Track your progress and share it strategically. People trust measurable improvement, they see evidence that your goals are achievable. Speak in certainty, not hope. Replace "I hope to achieve this" with "when I achieve this." Specific timelines sound inevitable. "I'll have this done by next year" feels more real than "someday I want this." Show your preparation. Skills, tools, connections, resources, they signal commitment and seriousness. Present obstacles as temporary, solvable challenges. Don't hide struggles, frame them as part of a steady climb toward inevitable success. Humans have a deep instinct to back winners. When people see your success as unavoidable, they begin investing in it because they want to benefit from being on the winning side. Warning: false inevitability is dangerous. If your claims aren't backed up by results, your credibility collapses instantly. The goal isn't just to appear unstoppable, it's to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. When others believe you can't fail, they help make sure you don't. Number 7. The dependency web. Most people pride themselves on independence. It's admirable personally, but disastrous for influence. True power comes from becoming indispensable, the person others rely on for what they truly need. When people depend on you, you gain leverage. When you're irreplaceable, your influence becomes massive. Machiavelli said, "He who neglects what is done for what ought to be done sooner affects his ruin than his preservation." Translation: focus on what people actually need from you, not what you think they should need. How to build a dependency web. Develop rare, valuable skills others don't want to learn themselves. Be the go-to for something essential. Be the central hub of knowledge and connections. People rely on you when they need information, resources, or introductions. Control key resources or solutions. If others need what only you can provide, your leverage skyrockets. Diversify your influence. Have multiple connections, skills, and streams of value. Don't depend heavily on a single person, let multiple people depend on you. Build networks across industries and circles. When someone needs help outside their usual reach, they turn to you. Focus on value, not obligation. Be helpful by choice, not because you're trapped by need. When people rely on you regularly, your importance grows. The more people depend on you for different things, the stronger your influence becomes. The goal: become essential without being enslaved to anyone's needs. Number 8. The reality architect. Most people accept reality as it's handed to them. They let others define what's normal, possible, or acceptable. That's how followers are made. Leaders. They shape reality. They don't just react, they influence how others perceive the world. Machiavelli said, "Men are so simple and ready to obey present necessities that those who deceive will always find those willing to be deceived." This isn't about lying. It's about understanding that perception dictates behavior. How people interpret situations controls their decisions. Master the narrative, and you control the outcomes. How to architect reality. Frame situations strategically. The same event can be a problem or an opportunity, your framing decides which. Normalize the new or unusual. When trying something different, present it confidently as natural and correct. Use words to shape thought. Language isn't neutral. The words you choose influence feelings and actions. Paint compelling visions of the future. People follow a path they can clearly see. Show the destination, then guide them there. Shift norms gradually. Start small, build momentum, and expand influence over behavior and expectations. Ask, "What if?" instead of asking permission. Introduce new possibilities subtly. Let people explore alternatives without resistance. The person who controls the narrative controls decisions. The person who controls decisions controls outcomes. Reality is flexible, more than most people realize. Those who understand this shape the world. Those who don't, get shaped by it. Number 9. The immortality strategy. Here's the ultimate secret separating fleeting influence from lasting power. Immortal influence isn't about being respected or needed in the moment, it's about creating systems and ideas that continue to work long after you're gone. Most focus on personal power, being important, being seen, being in demand. That influence dies when you leave the room, or when you die. True power outlives you. Machiavelli said, "Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose, it is far safer to be feared than loved." Here's the evolved version, it's even better to be remembered. Fear fades. Love fades. Systems endure. How to build immortal influence. Create processes, frameworks, or methods that solve problems reliably. When people use your system, your influence extends through their actions. Document your knowledge. Insights stored only in your mind vanish. Written strategies live forever. Build communities or institutions around your principles. Organizations can outlast founders by centuries. Influence other influencers. Your ideas ripple exponentially when they reach people who affect others. Teach, guide, and replicate success. Don't just solve problems yourself, create tools that let others succeed using your approach. When your methods, frameworks, and teachings continue after you leave, you achieve immortality through influence. The most powerful figures in history are remembered not just for what they did, but for what they enabled others to do. Think bigger than yourself. Build something that lasts. You now hold the 9 psychological weapons used by the most influential people in history. But here's the difference between someone who knows these secrets and someone who masters them: action. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Right now, you have a choice. Do nothing. Close this video, feel good about learning something new, and go back to being influenced instead of influential. Continue letting others shape your reality while you react to theirs. Take action. Pick one strategy from this video and use it today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Most people will choose the first option. They'll watch, maybe even share, and then return to old habits, wondering why nothing changes. But you're not most people, are you? Pick the strategy that resonated most with you, maybe the mirror trap, maybe the scarcity illusion, maybe building systems that outlive you. Find one way in the next 24 hours to apply it. Test it. See the results. These strategies are timeless, they've worked for centuries, and they continue working today for those who use them. The only question is whether you will know about them or use them. Remember the affirmation you posted earlier? I choose power over being liked. Most people spend their lives chasing approval and end up respected by no one. They're agreeable, polite, forgettable. The people who shape the world make a different choice. They choose respect over popularity, effectiveness over comfort, legacy over approval. What will you choose for the next 30 days? Apply one strategy consistently. Track the results. Notice how people respond differently. Watch your influence grow. Then return here and leave a comment about what changed, because something will change. These principles are not suggestions, they are laws of human psychology. 500 years ago, Machiavelli wrote about power because he understood that influence shapes every interaction in society. Those who understand it control it. Those who don't get controlled. You now understand. The question is, will you use this knowledge to create meaning, help others while helping yourself, and shape your world? Or will you let it sit unused while life continues as before? Remember, choosing not to act is still a choice. You're either learning to influence or letting others influence you. If this video opened your eyes to real influence, subscribe and ring the bell. More content like this is coming, you don't want to miss it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose power over being liked. Share this video with someone ready to stop being a victim of manipulation and start playing at a higher level. Your future self, the one who commands respect, gets what they want, and shapes reality instead of reacting to it, is waiting. That first step. It starts now. Welcome to Real Power.